Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes, but also some stationery, books, beauty, jewelry, travel, home decor, and even a dash of Disney. So if you enjoy unboxings, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. And as always, if you are already subscribed, thank you again so much for being here and welcome back. Today I have a new book subscription to the channel to share with you. It is called Down the Rabbit Hole, and I love the dark color of this box design. Now this is a book subscription for those of you who like darker plots and twists and don't need a happy ending. And as a lover of thrillers and true crime, this is a box that definitely piqued my interest, and I was so excited when a few of you suggested that I review it here on the channel. Definitely keep all of those suggestions coming, you guys. I really appreciate them. It gives me an idea of what you want to see here, and it allows me to reach out to those companies to see if they're willing to send me a box for review. Down the Rabbit Hole did send this box to me for review, and they also gave me a discount code for you. The box is normally $34.99 per month plus shipping. The shipping to me here in California would be about $10.50, but you can save 10% on your own box using the code Noelle10. As always, I'll leave all of that information for you in the description box below. Now, they don't actually go ahead and tell you the book outright. They usually do 4 hints on their social media and over on their website, but if you really want to know, you want to make sure that it's not something you've already read, or indeed you do want to confirm that it is a book that you've already read and you're just curious to see what they're going to pair it with in terms of the gifts, you can email them and ask. And that is what I did for next month's box. I did find out that it was a book that I have read. These are not necessarily new releases. They're just some titles that you may not have gotten around to yet or that you want to revisit. And it is, like I said, a book that I've already read, so I'm excited to share it with you because with subscriptions like this, I do try to read the book in advance. That's why sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to bring them to the channel, so that it makes a little bit more sense when I am reading the passages and opening the gifts up. I feel like that also allows for those of you who are already receiving the subscription to enjoy the unboxings a little bit more because I'm not necessarily spoiling it by doing it right on time. That's my justification, my rationalization for that. So let's open it up and take a look at what we have got inside. Inside it just says read, experience, share. They have the book itself, and then they have very dark packaging for all of the gifts. There were 4 gifts in this particular box, and the book was Confessions by Kanai Minato. So it is a translated book. It is not new. I believe it was published in 2008. I personally had not heard of it because I did take kind of a big hiatus in terms of reading for pleasure for quite some time. I believe they also made a short film based on this, but you guys let me know. I think this was also the author's first book, which is pretty impressive. There were some things where I felt like it might have been lost in translation, but it could also have just been like a cultural difference in voice and tone, because again, this does take place in Japan. But let me go ahead and read the back for you so you can get kind of an idea of what the book was about, or just sort of remember it if you did read it when it first came out. It says, after calling off her engagement in the wake of a tragic revelation, Yuko Moriguchi had nothing to live for except her only child, 4-year-old Manami. Now, following an accident on the grounds of the middle school where she teaches, Yuko has given up and tendered her resignation. But first, she has one last lecture to deliver. She tells a story that upends everything her students ever thought they knew about 2 of their peers and sets in motion a maniacal plot for revenge. Narrated in alternating voices with twists you'll never see coming, Confessions explores the limits of punishment, despair, and tragic love, culminating in a harrowing confrontation between teacher and student that will place the occupants of an entire school in danger. You'll never look at a classroom the same way again. It is pretty, the first chapter, you guys, you're like, what? Wow. So it says the riveting international sensation that inspired the Oscar shortlisted foreign film. So very cool. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, they did include a nice bookmark for it, which I thought was cool. And it actually had the chapter names, and they're all people, basically: the saint, the martyr, the benevolent one, the seeker, the believer, the evangelist, because the story is told in alternating voices by different characters. And then on the other side, it has a quote from the book. It says, doing something good or remarkable isn't easy. It's much easier to condemn people who do the wrong thing than it is to do the right thing yourself. so true. There is some like, you know, scruples at the end of the book where you sort of start to think a little bit more about judging other people or taking it upon yourself to punish other people. So, and just the image on the front I think is so appropriate because it is very much where people get cornered and put in a tight spot for sure. So let's go ahead and turn to the first page with the first sticky note. Now this book was only like 230 pages, I would say. So I was kind of happy to see that when I opened it up because I knew that I would be able to bring it to the channel sooner than later. And it actually did keep me pretty riveted. I managed to read it in a single day at the beach. It wasn't exactly like light beach reading, but like I said, I was able to get through it pretty quickly. So the first sticky note came, I think mine was actually on the wrong page because when I got to that page, like there was nothing about that item, which I'll show you in just a second, on that page. So I think it went on the page before. So I did move it. So it says, "At this, he suddenly held out a small black imitation leather coin purse with a zipper. It looked perfectly innocent, the type of thing you could buy anywhere. I wondered what he wanted me to do with it, but when I looked up, he was leering at me. 'Open it,' he said. 'There's a surprise inside.' I knew it was a trick of some sort and took it from him very carefully. It seemed a bit heavy for its size, and I was sure there must, in fact, be something inside. Telling myself I wasn't going to be shocked by a frog or a spider, I gripped the tab on the zipper, but as I did, a strong shock went through my fingers. For a moment, I thought it was static electricity, but I quickly realized that it was unlikely on a rainy day in June. As I stood looking at the purse and my fingers, A, that's the character here, spoke up. So I will go ahead and open up that gift, which just came in this little like mailer pouch. So I think they have like pouches and boxes, and then they just put a sticker on there that says, you know, gift 1, gift 2, not necessarily creating packaging for each book box, which I think is actually like a smart move. So I tried to open that kind of carefully so that I could show you what was wrapped up inside in this tissue paper, which you probably kind of already guessed. This was one of the few gifts where I was like, okay, I know what it is, and that's why I was so surprised that there wasn't a sticky note until the following page. So wrapped up pretty good. Let's go ahead and move that off to the side. And then in this little like dust sleeve, we have, of course, the little zipper pouch. I was very happy to touch the zipper pull and realize that it did not electrocute me. Of course, you guys know I love me some gold hardware, and I think this little like rose tassel is pretty darn cute. I don't think it's actually supposed to be a rose, but this is just like a little coin pouch, which is pretty cute. It just has like the like maker's name on the inside. I thought maybe there was going to be like a little surprise like that had to do with the book, but it opens pretty wide, and in terms of being just like a little cute zipper pouch, it's not bad in terms of being like a functional item. And I am really picky when it comes to this type of book box. I like it to be a useful item. I'm more okay with it kind of deviating from the pages of the book a little bit, so that it is something that I can actually use in my life. When they have things that are printed specifically for the book or that have like a quote written on it, it's not necessarily something I feel that I'm going to actually use. So I do really appreciate that, and I thought that was a good gift to start with in terms of being my first gift from a Down the Rabbit Hole book. Then the next one, so here is what the sticky notes look like again. Let me see if I'm trying to remember what the gift is so that I know where to start with the passage. Let's see what it was. So, after you left, Naoki ran out of the room and everybody else followed him. I was just about to leave too when I noticed the box by the blackboard with all the empty milk cartons lined up in the slots with our names. My first thought, the class president reflex, was to wonder who was on cleanup duty, but then I realized no one would want to touch the cartons, which was when I found myself looking for Naoki's and Shuya's. So this is in the voice of the class president, one of the students, so that's the one that I kind of like had to ally myself with in terms of perspective, because I was definitely like that kind of kid in school. So we're going to open up gift 2. So they actually have a little pamphlet that comes in the box, which I'll show you guys in a second. So I should have showed you that first, but they had this all wrapped up in tissue paper, and I tried to open it up as nicely as I could so that I preserved the box to some degree. So let's see if I can still do that, because I haven't taken any photos yet for over on Instagram. You guys know I like to do that, and when I can, I try to do it without like too many spoilers, or like I said, if it's been like months and months since the book box came out, then I'm not so worried about having some spoilers in there. All right, so here we go. I'm sliding it out to the bottom of the box. Now, this was something that I was like, I'm not sure exactly what to do with this. So it is a milk carton. Now, the ones that they were getting in the book, I thought of just like the little cardboard milk cartons that we used to get in school as well, like the little short pint ones. This one is plastic, and I guess it's basically just like a water bottle because it has this like screw off lid right here, although it would be kind of awkward to drink on that from that angled lid, so I guess it's like you could actually just keep something in there. But it's cute because it says 100% natural fresh milk on it. It does say that it's 500 milliliters, and it's got this like kind of fun cow print on it. So I think you might be able to open up the top. I didn't mess around with it a lot. I'm not sure if that's the only way to get in there is by unscrewing that. It seems to me like you would have to be able to get into the top of the carton itself, but I don't want to mess with it and like crack the acrylic before I've taken photos. So I'm guessing that you're able to get in there. Like I said, I haven't figured out how to pop that lid off, but you can see that there is a second like larger opening there. But I'm not sure what I would use this for. Like, let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas what this is meant to be used for, if you're actually supposed to like transfer your milk from the grocery store into it or what have you. But I will mess with it a little bit more a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at that pamphlet before we get to our other two gifts. So here is our June book box. They kind of have like themes with them. A person who seeks revenge digs more than one grave. That's very, very dark. And then it just tells us a little bit more about the author. Lovely image of Kanai. So it tells us some June book and author facts. For example, Minato has been described as Japan's queen of mystery. Before beginning her career as a writer, Minato was an economics teacher and a stay-at-home wife. This June book, Confessions, won several literary awards, and it was turned into a film in 2010. So it just tells us, you know, try not to peek, but basically this is also a QR code to find them over on social. So let's keep going though. So we have two more little sticky notes to get to. They were pretty evenly spaced throughout the book too, which was kind of nice. So again, I'm trying to remember what it was. All right, so tea time is my favorite moment in the day, and if Naoki's in a good mood, I bring out a treat, a trick I learned after the neighbors brought those bean sweets. So this is in the voice of Naoki's mother. We sit eating together, and sometimes he'll even tell me he's hungry for my special pancakes. He no longer comes along with me when I go shopping, but at least I can enjoy picking out something he likes when I'm in the store. So this is she's a troubled student, and the mother is trying to figure out how to make him a little bit happier by bringing him some treats, because he pretty much won't leave the house these days. So this is a gift 3, came in this nice black box, right? All dark packaging. And then I was kind of interested. I was like, did they give us like bean cakes or pancakes, like a treat in there? But it was just kind of an assortment. So we did get 2 Tiachula oolong tea like sachets. So each of them came in their own little container, which was cute, right? Because they have tea. And then instead of like bean cakes or pancakes, we got some other snacks that I feel like might be like more internationally appreciated. We got some shortbread cookies, some Lorna Doones, 2 packages. There's 6 cookies each inside of there, which I thought was cute to have like a snack that does kind of go along with the book. And I personally am not like a fan of like bean desserts, so I was kind of happy that we got that variation, that interpretation for that particular gift myself. And then finally we have one more. So this is gift 4, which was on page 188. It says, I replaced the batteries, but it still didn't run, so I decided to try to fix it. Once I had the back off, I could see that the problem was nothing more than a faulty contact, but as I made the repair, I hit upon an idea. My first invention, the backward clock. I rewired the hour hand and the minute hand and even the second hand to run backward and give the illusion that time had reversed course. I set the clock to midnight, and from that moment on, I began calling the study room my laboratory. I was pleased with the backward clock, but it didn't elicit much of a response from my audience, which consisted of the idiots in my class who brought me their porn videos, hoping I would agree to override the mosaic effect on the nasty parts. They would stare at the clock without realizing that the hands were running backwards, and when at last I was forced to tell them, they would simply shrug, "Oh, you're right." So I had a good idea what this gift would be. It was kind of fun trying to guess what the gifts would be while I was reading this at the beach and then coming home to confirm or, you know, find that it was the opposite. So a smaller square box that says gift 4 on it. And then there was another box inside there, which was kind of fun. So I figured it would probably be a clock, and indeed it is. And I was hoping that it's not running backwards, and I don't think it does. I have not put, there is a battery already in it, which I think is great. So it's kind of this cute little like red alarm clock with the bells. I think that's adorable. I don't know if the bells actually work because I don't see a way to set the timer. I think that's just like the look of it, but super cute little like desk clock. It does have a battery in it because it's got that little like plastic pull tab, but obviously I didn't want to go ahead and pull that and start running down the battery quite yet. But I thought this was actually like a really cute gift as well, and I liked that it was just like simple and red. So overall, I thought the experience of this first Down the Rabbit Hole book box for me was really fun. I think they do a nice job. I would have liked to have seen maybe like more gifts or even higher value gifts, but honestly, like in terms of boxes that are like this, 4 is like a pretty normal number. I thought the pouch and the clock were my favorite. I don't know what to do with the milk carton. I just feel like that's gonna be like my throwaway gift, and of course I'm gonna enjoy the tea and the treats. That's always kind of a nice thing to include. The book itself was great, and I am very much looking forward to reviewing the next box. You should see it here on the channel in pretty quick order, just because again I have read the book before, so I'm just gonna have to give myself a little bit of a refresher, although it is a really good one. So I highly suggest getting in on it if you do like those like darker novels and mysteries. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.